Hi, and welcome back to 30 Day Trials, where I try anything and everything for 30 days. Due to the nature of the content of this video, I need to make it very clear that I am not a doctor, and I do not and will never condone the use of anabolic steroids. This video is strictly informational and for entertainment purposes, so please be very careful about what you put into your body. Alright, let's get to it. Since I was a kid, I've always admired bodybuilders. I've always thought that they had the most amazing physiques, and I wanted to get that for myself. And so as a very young teen, I started training and lifting weights and taking supplements, and I got myself into very good physical condition. But there was always something missing. I was never at that same level of the guys that I admired, and I wanted to get there. And so by doing a little bit of research, you end up finding out that a lot of these guys take steroids. And one of the main steroids that they take is called Dianabol. Guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Ronnie Coleman all admitted to taking Dianabol during the time that they competed. So for me, it was a no-brainer. This is now many moons ago. I started taking Dianabol to compete. And I got into very good physical condition. I mean, the definition in my muscles was absolutely amazing for myself. I wasn't as large as some of the guys that I admired, but I was in excellent condition. I was pretty big for my height, and I was turning heads. Everybody always stopped me and asked me questions about training and diet and this and that. But there was always that thing that everybody wanted to know, is whether or not I took steroids. And I know it's one of those things that it's very difficult to be very open about, because a lot of people will always come up with the answer that, oh, you could never do that without steroids. So for the last 30 days, I went back to using Dianabol to see whether or not that was true. So for this experiment, I just took the Dianabol without actually modifying my diet or my training in any way. I was doing what I was currently doing, maybe a little bit more exercise, but my diet stayed relatively the same, which is a mixture of good food and takeaways, a lot of different takeaways, pizzas, burgers, you name it. And I like those kind of things. And it's not really good for the health, but and due to the nature of my job and being on the road a lot, sometimes you have no choice but just to get the healthiest fast food option that you can get. And most of the times that's not that healthy. So for me, it was a really good way to find out whether or not, just taking those steroids, Dianabol, would actually make a difference. So for the last 30 days, my impressions of Dianabol still haven't changed. I think it's still pretty amazing. It's very fast acting. You get amazing pumps in the muscle. You get that faster recovery as well, so you can train a lot more. But like I said, I did it for research purposes. This was strictly to find out whether or not just taking that would actually make a difference. So I've taken some before and after shots just to show you, when I started off what I looked like, and afterwards what I looked like. So you can see on these shots right here, looking at the front, you can see a little bit more definition. You can tell I've put on a little bit of muscle. I should mention that I did gain about 3 kilos in the last 30 days. Whether that's all muscle or mostly water weight, I don't really know, but you can tell I did put on a bit of muscle. So I don't know, maybe 50% or slightly less would be muscle gain. The rest I think personally is just water weight. So that's gonna go away as soon as I stop. So looking at, like I said, looking at the front view, you can tell I've got a little bit more of a six-pack. It's starting to show up a bit. My shoulders look a little bit more defined. And you can see my lats are actually pushing my arms out a little bit more. That's also because my arms grew a tiny bit. So if we switch over to the back view, you can see, my triceps have grown quite a lot, and my lats as well. And you can see the gap between my forearms and my waist is a lot bigger after those 30 days. So yeah, you can see that the muscle was gained. Moving over to the side view, I can tell that my arm looks slightly bigger after the 30 days. And my forearms, you can tell my forearms I've got a lot more meat on them. You can see, if you look at the bottom of my abs, I had lost a little bit of fat around there, but not a lot. Like I didn't lose a significant amount of fat, but I am looking slightly more toned and more defined after those 30 days. And this is just strictly on Dianabol, no other supplements, and just a normal routine, about 4 days a week of training and getting adequate sleep, I would say. So, why do I bring this up? Well, if you look at my pictures from the past when I was competing, you can tell that there's a huge difference to the kind of muscle and the type of body that I had built compared to this last 30-day trial. And the reason I bring this up is to show you that, you know, just taking steroids is not going to make a huge difference to you. It's going to give you a boost, definitely. And I did feel that boost, like you get that surge of energy, you want to train, you recover faster, and you feel on top of the world, like you really do. However, there is a big part of this that I think a lot of people do miss, and that your diet plays a huge role in the type of body you create. Now, when I was doing competitions, I was eating immaculately. I was counting my calories, and these were all good calories. I had the right balance of my proteins, my fats, and my carbs, and I had the right vitamins and minerals in my diet. I was taking the right supplementation. I was getting adequate rest. And these are, I think, the biggest factors to creating an amazing physique. Now, will steroids help you get there? Yeah, they will help you get there. But I don't think you can get there without getting those important pieces of the puzzle together. And that is why I made this video, to try and let people understand that just taking steroids is not going to change your life. It's not going to make you this world-renowned bodybuilder. It comes with a combination of everything else that you do. So you can't do one without the other and expect amazing results. Everything has to be in place. And it's because of this, I think, that just getting your diet, getting the right supplementation, getting good rest, getting all those things in place is going to make a much bigger impact on your physique than taking anabolic steroids will. And I really don't like the use of anabolic steroids, because if you look at some of the professionals out there, I think one of the most recent deaths from anabolic steroids was Dallas McCarver. And because anabolic steroids actually promote muscle growth, you have to understand that your heart is also a muscle, so it's going to grow too. Dallas McCarver, who was quite a famous bodybuilder, during his autopsy after his death, they found that his heart is insanely large. That is too big for a normal person. And that's why I'm saying, like, steroids are very dangerous. And I'm not going to tell you to do them, and I'm not going to tell you not to do them. But you have to be aware of the health risks involved. It is a very, very dangerous drug if you're doing it without being monitored by a doctor. Another reason I don't think any men should be taking any steroids at all is because it actually kills your own natural production of testosterone. And a lot of these professional bodybuilders that you see after they retire have to go on testosterone replacement therapy because their own bodies stop producing adequate amounts. And as a man, you and I both know that shit's not good for you. It's never going to be good for you. I know I did steroids for this here video, but I'm not going to continue doing them. I only did it for 30 days, and that's probably not going to impact me at all. And the next time I do them, who knows? It might be when I'm older. It could be 10 years from now. Who knows? But I have no plans and no desires to do it anytime soon. And so, I leave you with those thoughts. Think about these things clearly. Don't just rush into them. Do your research and stay safe. Anyway, until next time, stay pumped. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see what I do in my next 30-day trial, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it.